Hey guys, this video is going to be a fun one, I think, and definitely something that you're going to encounter in building combat robotics and building combat robots and being a part of the combat robotics community, especially once you've been in it for a little while and you start to talk to people in your daily life outside of combat robotics, non-robot people. And I don't mean robot people like the AI robots that are going to kill us all. I mean people that aren't really into combat robotics, but think it's interesting. I've encountered this quite a bit since I've been building with people coming to me with their ideas of what I should do with my robots. And all it is just the realities of how strong these robots have to be, especially in the 30-pound weight class, and how hard a true kinetic energy weapon hits. There's really no context in your everyday life that you can put into this. So what I got a lot was like my friends being like, dude, you should put a chainsaw on it, or you should put a saw on it. Well, those might be really powerful things, and some people have put them into good use really in the past. But in the heavier weight classes, it's really difficult. Like in the 3-pound weight class, like there's Mako with that saw that's ridiculous. But again, it's cutting through a lot of robots that are made out of plastic and carbon fibers, so it kind of works there. But comparing that weapon choice to a kinetic energy spinner is just like the power differences are immense. You get people that say like, just put a chainsaw on it, put a saw on it, just put an axe, put like a hatchet on it. Sure, those are all very powerful things that could injure you very badly in your daily life, but putting a chainsaw on a 30-pound robot and then putting it up against a kinetic energy robot, that other robot is going to literally disintegrate that chainsaw. Though it is a strong piece of equipment for cutting wood, it's not standing up to hits from any type of spinner. It's probably not going to stand up to getting flipped or just smashed around the box. It's just not built for that. Saw blades tend to bend, and they don't really get that because they don't have the experience. Like they've never gone and sat cage side for one of these fights. And once you see one of these robots up close, and once you maybe hold one and you feel how heavy it is, I'm moving a bunch of stuff, you feel how heavy this 10-pound kinetic energy weapon is in your hand, you say, yeah, that's not standing up to a chainsaw is not standing up to that. An axe is just going to shatter when it gets hit by this. There are axe and hammer bots that do make it work using a little bit different materials and methods. Again, they don't want their hammer getting hit, but just really talking about like the power of these things and how you can't wrap your head around it. Like, let me put it into perspective for you. A beetle weight, at the upper limit of how hard a beetle weight can hit, is about a 357 Magnum's impact. That's about the kinetic energy involved with a beetle weight combat robot. When you move up to a 12-pound robot in the hobby weight division, you're talking about a high-powered rifle round, like an AR-15 or an AK-47, that kind of energy when you get to that weight class. When you get to the 30-pound weight class, you're looking at 2 12-gauge shotgun blasts, meaning double the energy of a 12-gauge shotgun blast. Go shoot a 12-gauge shotgun and then feel how powerful that is, twice that. Or better yet, another comparison would be a Barrett 50 cal round, a 50 BMG. That's about at the upper limit how hard a robot like Emulsifier or Ares or Vorion, one of these robots, will hit. When you get above that into the heavyweight category, it gets really difficult to wrap your head around. You're talking about the energy levels of two cars going 50 miles an hour and having a head-on collision. That's how hard they hit. That's not an exaggeration. That's how the numbers add up. Not only that, you're talking about that whole impact shrunk down into an impact this big, the tip of the weapon hitting something this big. That's when you start to see these robots, a 250-pound robot getting thrown up no problem and bouncing off the ceiling in the BattleBots arena. That's the type of energy that's involved here. I want to show you my first robot, Smack-O-Lantern, the first version. I built the chassis out of 1/8 inch steel, be it mild steel, still solid steel, around a 1/2 inch frame with metal components and bracing on the inside. And it still got peeled apart by Animosity, which is a 30-pound robot with a weapon on it that was designed for his 15-pound robot. So Animosity is really a beefed up 15-pound robot. And it still did this to the front of my robot. It is wavy. It is chunked up. There are gouges in it all the way through the metal. That's the type of power that is in a moderately powerful 30-pound robot. And it eventually, towards the end of the fight, ripped this off the welds of the frame. It sheared all these bolts off. This is what we're talking about. And to put this in perspective, 1/8 inch steel is what you would see at the thickest part of a pickup truck's frame. Yeah, they hit really hard. So I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, and this is kind of becoming a combat robots hit really, really hard video, but not a lot of people realize it, and safety comes into this too, like why it's so important to have a test box and be safe and never test these things within a line of sight, because even a 3-pound robot, if things go wrong, can kill you. A 30-pound robot, it won't be an open casket. I'll put it that way. Very, very powerful stuff. And I find this, talking about this topic, to be really interesting. Another piece I have is this. This was actually done by my weapon. Pepe Silvia hit my weapon hard enough to knock it back into my drive motor and gearbox. And as you could see, did some nice inbox milling there, mid-fight milling. It's just opened up like a can. You could just see it's bent down. And that was after it had been hit by another robot, slowed down a bit, and then hit this. And this is a solid chunk of metal here. Let's make this video interesting. If you guys get this video to, let's say, 1,500 likes, if this gets to 1,500 likes, everybody mention your favorite robot in all of Combat Robots history. Mention it down in the comments. Once we get to 1,500 likes on this video, or views on this video, 1,500 views on this video, I will give away for a piece of the second version of Smack-O-Lantern, which has some nice little weapon marks from Emulsifier. Where else are you going to find something like this unless you get in the ring and fight Emulsifier yourself, which I encourage you to do. And these are just little tiny, little kisses from Emulsifier that did this kind of damage. It's a really cool piece. I'll sign this for you and I'll send it out to you. This is a really cool one. I hate to give it away, but I'm willing to do it for you guys. But yeah, just comment down below what your favorite robot is in all of combat robotics history. Be as obscure as you want. Once we get to 1,500 views, I'll pick one of you guys at random. Give me your information, and I'll send this out to you. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of just discussing the realities of how powerful these things are. I thought this would be a fun one. Anyway, guys, take care, like, and subscribe. See you soon.